at you with yet another DJs BrewTube beer review. Damn, there's two big ass bombers in front of me. Not just because DJ wants to get crunk today, because it's time for a long overdue review here on DJs BrewTube, and I think in the BrewTube blogosphere. A side-by-side review of Stone Ruination and Stone RuinTen. Both of these are widely acclaimed, big-ass DIPAs. One is sort of a legend in craft beer world, in my opinion. Ruination first came out in 2002. I can't believe it's been that long ago already. And from as far as I know, it was the first commercially available DIPA out there. 7.7% ABV and 100 plus IBUs. It's dry hop with Centennial. It's got Centennial and Magnum hops in it. All that fun stuff. A lot of you guys have had this. And our buddies in Escondido, California, Stone, have been brewing it up, you know, for 11 years now. That's awesome. Now, last year, in honor of such awesomeness, the 10th anniversary, they introduced Stone Ruination 10, okay, which is their 10th anniversary beer. So they've re-released it because it was so popular, and here we have RuinTen. Now, this beer is a bit bigger. They've increased the malt bill, so it's 10.8% ABV. It's 110 IBUs, from what they're telling us directly. It's dry hopped with a 50-50 blend of Centennial and Citra, and they've doubled up that dry hop amount too to make it bigger and more in your face. So we're liking that, aren't we? Hell yes. Thank you, Stone from Escondido, California. We like you big DIPAs. That's right. So, now, I think what we need to do, my purpose here today, both of these are super fresh. This one's a little over 2 weeks old, and this one's a little under 2 weeks old at time of filming. How do I know? Because the date's clearly inkjet coated in yellow ink right on the neck area of the bottle here. I don't have to guess. You know what, other brewers, learn from Stone. Okay, that's what we want. We want date codes, especially on IPAs and DIPAs, stuff that's supposed to be hoppy. I can get over, you know, maybe just a year date on like a, you know, a big burly stout or something like that, but come on, give us a real date on this. It's easy to read. Anyways, I will dismount the pulpit for now on that soapbox anyway, and first we're going to crack into Ruination, and I'll shoot up the geek information for you here so you get it all down, so we'll have a good comparison. Back in a second. Guys, I'm back. Time to get this bad boy in the glass. Oh, nice hiss off the top. Plenty of smoke. And we've got two tulip glasses here, so we've got the same glasses right in there. And we're going to review these separate, and we're going to start out with our buddy here, Ruination, because that's what started it all for this, you know, little review here, and really in DIPA land, right? On a commercial scale anyway. So, lovely looking beer, bit hazy, of course dry hop. We've got a solid one finger head of super tight kaki bubbles, little tiny sudsy and rocky up at the top. When I swirl it, getting some clingy glass lacing immediately and some nice alcohol legs coming off of this. So let's get a nose on this and see what's going down. Big bright citrus, pine, nice dankness. I really love dankness. Resinous, malty backbone, you can smell that in the background, not overly overshadowing at all, but kind of supporting that pine and citrus and herbal and dankness coming off of these hops. I'm thirsty, it's been one of them days, let's get to it. Wow. That's West Coast right there, baby. Look at that glass lacing. Not to digress too far. Man, big, bright, citrus, dank, pine in there. Just a big up, in-your-face beer. In a lot of ways, I've had a lot of DIPAs now since this one. This one stands up there with the rest of them. It's got plenty of bitterness. By my, I guess, you know, hop threshold nowadays, or hop resistance, whatever you want to call it. This isn't like super bitter, but back in 2002, this was like getting punched in the face with hops. This was just a bad boy. In a lot of ways, you know, this kind of reminds me in some ways of Pliny, but it's a lot more dank and more pine resinous than Pliny is. Pliny is a little softer, you know, it's more filtered out. You can tell that in some ways like a beer maker or a brewer made this beer, and a former winemaker kind of made Pliny in its refinement. But this beer, it's a rugged, up in your grill Ruination, right? back in the day. Man, super tasty beer. What do the guys think about this grade-wise? We'll roll them out and we'll tell you this, and then I'll give you my final grades at the end. Rate Beer's giving it 100, and Beer Advocate gives it a 96. Okay, A grades, A plus and A. I'm going to give this one, this is an A beer for DIPA. Okay? Tasty, awesome brew. I got a lovely dry pine resinous finish on the back end. It's just great. I give it a 96 myself. I'm going to go along with Beer Advocate on this one. That's an A beer. So, now, next up we've got this one. We'll get a little water in between. We're going to have to keep this fair. And while I'm getting my water, I'll put up the geek info on our buddy RuinTen here, so you can take a quick look before we dive into the review. Okay guys, I'm back. Man, that took more water than I thought to wash the taste out of my mouth. This is a really fresh beer at 2 weeks, and man, it's up in your face. So, here it is, RuinTen. Like I said, I've already had this. I know what awesomeness awaits me. Man, big ass hiss off the top, plenty of smoke. We got a lovely stone crown to go with our other one that we collected. One thing too, one of the advantages of these pry top bottle openers, you can pop the cap right back on this. And yeah, it's not going to be super fresh, but it's going to get the job done until you're ready to finish it off and, you know, get the job done. Anyways, let's get this in the glass. Here we go. Man, look at that. You can tell it's a darker shade already. We got a bigger malt bill in this and everything. More hops. Bam. Head's blowing up on this bad boy. Look at that. Darker, more khaki head. You can see here on this one we've got like the more white head. It's like a lighter colored head. It's still khaki, but we've got sticky glass laces on here. But look at that, guys. It's a deeper shade of amber. We've got a bigger malt bill in it, like I said. We got a solid ass 3-finger head of really tight packed bubbles. No suds, no rockiness up at the top. Man, look at that gorgeous, gorgeous beer, guys. It's actually fairly clear for as much hops as I know that they put into this beer. Let's get a nose on this. I can't wait. Anyways. Wow, big ass citrus. Man, orange, tangerine, grapefruit, pine, big, big dank back end. Man, and a little like faint malt in the background. The hops and the dank and the citrus and the herbal and resinous are so much more forward in this beer when they beefed up the recipe and really put an obscene amount of hops in this beer. You know what? They've outdone themselves, and they did a great anniversary. This beer, as you know, guys, people geeked out about this beer last year like crazy. I didn't get to try it until this year, and man, I'm so glad that they brought this back. This is just freaking awesome. So, let's get a taste on this. Wow. Up in your face with hops. It's this beer here, cubed. Okay? Every bit of it cubed. You got big ass citric acidy citrus up in your face, grapefruit, orange, tangerine, a little bit of pineapple, dank as hell, resinous, and the dry, bitter finish on this, long, dry, bitter finish. This is, you know, all this is just California love in front of me, guys. Man, it's been one of those long days, and this is making me freaking happy doing this review right now. You can see I'm kind of jazzed. I mean, I'm an animated dude anyway, and man, this is just an awesome beer. I gotta get another taste of this. Wow. I'm so glad I got a couple bottles of this to drink down, and man, this is just a big, bright, gorgeous beer. Man, brilliantly done. So tasty, and it's just this, what I think a stereotypic California West Coast style DIPA is. That's this beer. So, what do the other guys think about this? Rate Beer gives it 100. Beer Advocate gives it a 97. I'm going to give it my A+ scale. I'm going 98 on this as DIPAs go. This is about as good as I want in a DIPA. I can drink them bigger. I don't give many A+ for DIPAs. This is an A beer, but this is just the next step up, that next level progression of DIPAs, and it's just a delicious beer. So, Stone, you guys have done an awesome job. You guys can see them side by side here. I'll take some photos, but you can see we've got a darker brew here, darker head, awesome glass lacing on both of them, and I'm so glad to be drinking these next to each other because both these bottles are mine. Johnny's not here today, but Johnny does have the same thing to try at home himself. So anyways, guys, thanks a million for watching. I appreciate each and every one of you. And you got to do something really important for me right now. You got to think globally. You got to drink locally. You got to support the craft beer movement. You got to help guys like Stone keep growing. Yeah, they're kind of a big craft brewer, but compared to those macro breweries, they're tiny, tiny, tiny. Don't be fooled by these guys, making a little bit of money. And if you see a beer that looks a little bit expensive from a craft brewer, you know what, and it's one of their big, phenomenal beers, remember, even though it seems a little expensive, they're not really making that much money on it because the ingredients, if you ever homebrew, guys, I suggest it for everybody who wants to get into craft beer, homebrew, you're going to see how much ingredients really cost. And yeah, these guys like Stone and other brewers that are more established craft brewers can buy ingredients at, quantity. But still, the malt bill and the hop bill and everything that have gone into both of these beers is freaking gigantic. Okay, and that's not cheap, and you know what, every year the costs go up, transportation, etc., and they bring us these beers really fresh, and that's awesome. So guys, I'm going to dismount my soapbox. Don't forget to support your local brewers too, small, big, whatever you got, not macros, but you know what I'm saying. Anyways, to the next time, as I said, thanks a million for watching, and until then, that's a big peace out!